All right, guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So, Global Dokkan occasionally does these things which JP does not do, which I think are really fun. Like, look at this. So, we have a 9th anniversary Dokkan character ranking. So, this is the usage rate of the anniversary characters. Now, we could take a look at this. So, we have 10 characters who are displayed right here. I assume they're just not counting Broly-chan and Lemo in here. Like they showed us. Like this is the second tweet they made on this, but it is interesting that they just didn't include them. But I guess they wanted to hit that nice number 10 because it's like Broly-chan and Lemo are gonna have been used a lot more than First Form Frieza, right? Like First Form Frieza is kind of a wasted release. If there's anything Dokkan can significantly improve on, and I mean, don't twist what I said. There's a lot. There's a lot Dokkan could improve on. Of course, there's a million avenues, but I would really like to see an enhancement made to free-to-play players or free-to-play characters. We need to run teams of characters, right? And they often are doing mission-based content. I don't see why we can't have like Frieza just restrict him immensely, right? Like crazier restrictions, right? Like only to one category, but make him a lot better. He can have a scouter, but unfortunately a scouter oftentimes just shows you, oh, you've lost, unless like hidden potential system dodge is going to trigger or something like that. Like this Frieza, he's just like, he's worthless. He needed a lot more. I mean, legitimately, they would need to give him 70% dodge and then way more stats. Like, so you keep him exactly like this, then you also give him 70% dodge, and then what if he got an extra 50% defense per Super Boss category ally, but it only works if you're if you have a full Super Boss category team or something like that. Like, that's the type of stuff they need to do to make these free-to-play characters good. And, I mean, the difference between them being, juggernauts who, oh my god, they're way too good, so now people aren't summoning and we're losing money. If you just restrict them to a team, and then, the LRs and stuff like that, like, if we look at it, Beast, Gogeta, and Broly, the top three right here, they don't have restrictions. The Gammas don't either, but they, of course, are supporting specific categories, which is fine, right? But like, these main units right here don't have like restrictions like that and stuff like that. So you're going to get a lot more use out of them, a lot more value out of them across the entire game's content and with missions and everything. But like a free-to-play character, they could restrict them heavily. And yeah, get going. Okay, anyway. So I did make a joke here, and Beast is washed already. Ha 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 ha. And a lot of people replied, and they did prove that reading comprehension is very difficult for people, which is not surprising. So the campaign period is the 29th. Beast Gohan came out on the 26th. So I had a lot of comments saying, oh, well, this was before Beast even came out. No, it wasn't. You can use your eyeballs and see. However, what is true is that Gogeta's banner was up for a lot longer compared to Beast, so a lot more players did definitely have an opportunity to summon for Gogeta, with free summons or, stones from content, stuff like that, over the course of several weeks, compared to with this poll, you still did only have 3 days where Beast Gohan was out. For example, like even the thumbnail on this is just like a goofy shot at Beast. I mean, you guys, I think he's the best character released ever in the game's history, right? Like I'm gonna crack jokes about Beast, sure, but when it comes down to it, yeah, he's number one ever in the game. But if like they would do one of these and the period was the 29th and it goes all the way until like December 31st this year on global, I bet you Beast will be number one. I bet you it'd be number one, probably by far. There's no way they're releasing content that is going to push Beast out of here when it comes to like worldwide and stuff like that. They could release very challenging stages, but content to where Beast would fall out of like 1 or 2, no way. I do think Tech UI Goku. Well, Tech UI Goku could be high up here, like if they did a theoretical, 29th to the 31st of December. But the only thing is that it is definitely going to be tough for global players, no doubt about it, to get UI Goku, considering, it's UI Goku. He's the 5th consecutive Dokkan Fest LR or Carnival LR banner, which is insane to think about. All right, so let's take a look at the list. We already talked extensively about Frieza, so we could just move up from there. Then we have the Krillin and Android 18 character. I mean, they're solid. I don't really hate their design and stuff like that. The problem is that, again, just imagine this is a terrifying Conqueror character, right? Like, oh shit, like that's awesome. But as a superhero character, it doesn't really work because superhero doesn't, like, there's so many incredible options already, right? So like it doesn't work. That's the thing. There's so many different categories this character could be where it would be like a huge deal. Imagine if this character was super bosses. That would probably be better than Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza was next on this anyway, right? The reason Golden Frieza can be a bit tricky for super bosses at times is Broly-chan Lemmo is one of the only slot 1 characters the team has, so like they're a must run. They need orbs. After Frieza's first turn, he needs orbs. You're probably going to be running Rosé. He needs orbs. I was, seeing a lot of, tweets of people like fighting the mission, stuff like that. A lot of global players were using Kefla. She needs orbs. You just have way too many characters that need orbs for super bosses. So it's like, you probably could swap these two, and it might be more effective for super bosses. Like if Golden Frieza was like this instead, I mean, he would die probably a little bit more often, but this unit would probably help super bosses a bit more than this character, since he does need the orbs, right? And it's like, once you get deep at 60% damage reduction, you might as well have 0% damage reduction with the defense level this guy typically is carrying against some of these bosses. We have seen this guy double-digit tank Blue Gogeta super attack before in Supreme Magnificent Battle, but, I mean, things can go really bad. So what are these percents? Look at this Frieza, under 1%. I mean, Dokkan, you guys got to do better with free-to-play characters. They were slightly above 1. Frieza's at 2.6. I mean, Frieza does make sense, too, because, again, Super Bosses is a limited roster that's not very good. Once you add Cell Max, who's, one of the most dominant characters in the game, that really evens the roster out quite a bit. But Global doesn't have him yet, right? Cell Max. So it's like Super Boss is a little bit iffy. Then we have Pajamas Beerus. I'm not a fan of Pajamas Beerus. Here's why. I don't mind characters who can attack. You guys know, like, I'm Mr. Defense, right? I love TUR AJL Golden Frieza. I love Tech God Goku. I love Tech Caulifla. That type of character is awesome. This guy is not that. This 50% damage reduction does nothing when you're fighting a real boss. It does. He dies instantly. He's a loser, right? So he can attack, and he can't tank. I love the orb changing, and he's got a little bit of support too, which is cool. But I mean, bro, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, if this was 90% damage reduction right here, now we're cooking. Now he becomes quite good. But that's the problem. That should be 90% damage reduction. You can keep this. This should be 90%. You do that, and he becomes quite better. Really. Like, now, because it's so important to be really good at the start of the fight. Now, if he did, oh my god, this guy would be so good for, like, Goku and Frieza, right? Because he has a 90% damage reduction early on when, like, 17's locking. You have to deal with all that shit. And then, you do this. You do his target. Although, nah, Goku and Frieza, they would... Goku and Frieza would probably still kill him. Hey, well, it depends. Under 50% HP, Goku and Frieza would probably still kill this guy. But yeah, I just, because of how worthless he is over your first 5 turns, I just am not a fan of this guy whatsoever. This is a bait tweet character. That's what I call this. You get your, you do 10 runs to get your one good run. You tweet it out and say, look how good he is, right? That's all Pajamas Beerus is. He's at 3%. Free-to-play Gogeta's a little bit above. I mean, Gogeta is worse, way worse than Pajamas Beerus. Gogeta, I think, is the worst character Of everything here, Gogeta's the worst, but he's very easy, free to play. Sticker looks good. Pose looks good. All that definitely does look very, very good right there. Okay, so there's Gogeta. Next, we have the Gammas. The Gammas are kind of on an island by themselves. Look, because like Gogeta, 3%. Gammas are at 7%. And then Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta at 16%. Now, the Gammas being back here, is this a surprise? No, not really. The Gammas are just... It's the same issue with Krillin and 18 you can kind of apply to the LR Gammas as well. Although the Gammas are not like banner unit level or something like that. Like the Gammas are like a top 10 level character. If 2024 was a normal year, I would probably still have them in my top 10. But, you know, compared to previous years, this year, 9 out of 10 characters are well designed with good kits who are very powerful, right? Like it's 2023 characters sucked, 2022 characters sucked for most of the year until the last half of the year when characters got quite good, right? It's only been 2024 like this where all the characters are pretty much just really good. They have not been doing this. So, I mean, just in comparison, that makes the Gammas look a little bit worse, but like their kit is good and stuff like that. But it's Superhero continues to be a very competitive team. A lot of people, I mean, the Gammas are fire, but a lot of people are going to want to run Gogeta and the Blue Fusions and UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta and Beast Gohan, right? It's just how it goes, man. It's like, at the end of the day, it's always going to come back to the Saiyans and shit. Like, it's just how it is. They're good. They could be clapped up early on, but as of right now in Global, that is not really a factor. I mean, they're fine against Kid Buu. They're not going to get crushed in any of the Supreme Magnificent Battle stages right now. Cell Max, who comes out soon, could kill them, but that's pretty much it. They're definitely very good, though. I'm sure there's going to be more missions where they'll be effective. I mean, they're very good in the Beast Gohan Artificial Lifeform mission, so, you know, they've got some stuff there. So we got the Gammas. Then we have them right here. Not surprising they're so high. This is, in my opinion, one of the most fun characters Dokkan has maybe ever released, ever. Because guess what? When you have... Where is it? Right here. The guaranteed crit at 24 key is just like... It's just a heavenly ability. This really adds fun to characters. Right? This character has that. EGL UI has it. Evolution Blue Vegeta's got it. EGL Jiren does have it as well when he comes out. Like, that's just an awesome ability, man. This is great. And they're creating rainbow orbs. It's always very fun when a character does 1,000,000 attacks. That is always, even as Mr. Defense, you know, that is fun. And they create their own orbs. I mean, Broly, Chi-Lai, and Loser would be quite a bit better if they created their own. Like, could you imagine if they had the same ability right here? Imagine if Broly, Chi, and Lemo had this. But it was just, you know, if there's another Super Boss's ally on the team and they get rainbow orbs, Broly, Chi, and Lemo they'd actually be like top 5. They would. Broly, you add this exact line to Broly, Chi, and Lemo, but then just swap Superhero for Super Bosses, and they're probably like a top 5 character in the game. That's what I think about Broly, Chi, and Lemo probably. But yeah, this character is ridiculous, and it's a Dokkan Fest LR. I mean, we're looking at global data right here. So they came out December of 2020 for global, right? So it's like players would have had a long time to have them. Broly is actually only slightly above them. Okay. So then there's Broly. Big Daddy here, of course, has one of the better leader skills in the game. Nearly every character that comes out is on Broly's leader skill, including all these guys, right? They're on it. Gogeta's on it. Beast is on it. Like, they're all on Broly's leader skill, like all the big characters. And of course, Broly can, you know, do a lot of his attacks and stuff like that. I mean, he is unfortunately a domain character, but typically I've found that, like, it's not like, oh, well, this is bad for Broly, it's bad for the other characters. Like, I'm always going to prioritize Broly's domain over Rose, probably Fusion Zamasu, unless I need his defense to win. You know, Future Gohan, you know, I mean, you can't run Tech UI Goku on Broly's team, because base Broly, that's not going to work. You could, I mean, I guess you could run Tech UI in the team and just leave Tech UI in base. You can get away with that because he does still dodge, but yeah, you guys get it. So there's him. Then we go up a little bit into the 20%, and then that's where we get Beast and Gogeta. No surprise here. Gogeta, of course, remember, he can be used on Beast Gohan's team, on Broly's team, on his own team. So a lot of different avenues towards using Gogeta, obviously, which is definitely very good. Gogeta also a Rainbow Orb Changer as well, so he just makes the team function a lot better. He's got his healing, and then, of course, he has his legendary, super powerful target mechanic at the end. Not a surprise to see Gogeta up here. And then, of course, we have the greatest unit in Dokkan history. I don't actually really need to spend too much time talking about him. He is number one all time. I do think so. I do think so. I do think so, for sure. People will mention STR Gogeta, but, I mean, STR Gogeta could die back then. This guy, he wouldn't. He doesn't. Period. So there you go. I love when I do stuff like this. I think these are very fun. Just looking at these rankings and stuff like that. Very, very good stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Love you guys. I'll catch y'all next time. Mwah!